I'm here with Spottie Wi-Fi and saying hello to the NFT.NYC community. Thank you for joining me. Excited to have you come speak at our event this year in June. For those that don't know you, can you please introduce yourself and let people know a bit about your involvement in the NFT industry and the music industry?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. My name is Spottie Wi-Fi. I'm the world's best and only CryptoPunk rapper alive. Of course, CryptoPunks are one of the more historic NFT collections out there. And I purchased my CryptoPunk number 5528 back in February of last year and decided I'm going to do something different. I'm going to make a brand, a music persona around this CryptoPunk. So I gave my CryptoPunk a name, Spottie Wi-Fi. I gave him a backstory, and I use music to tell that backstory. By August of last year, I had enough songs for an album, which I minted as an NFT. I sold it, giving a copyright license to the people that own the NFT, giving a vinyl record to the people that own the NFT, and some other utilities. And it sold out immediately, and it's been pretty life-changing year as a result.
So a lot of people might be wondering about your amazing filter you have on. So you want to tell us a bit about that? Because obviously that's part of the story. It's part of the branding, your ability to jump on a video chat and represent, the CryptoPunk, as a entity in a sense. So give us a little idea of what kind of you're using and what other people may be interested in exploring that as well.
Yeah, this is basically a Snapchat filter or a Snapchat lens, So if you ever used Snapchat, or even Instagram has something very comparable where, it might make you look like you are a cat with, whiskers and ears, or it might just make you look like you've got sunglasses on or makeup on or something like that. It's really just the same technology, using my camera to detect my eyes, my mouth movements, things like that. But yeah, I had this developed to look exactly like my CryptoPunk, which is CryptoPunk number 5528. I am doxxed. I actually doxxed right before NFT NYC in the fall of last year so that I could perform live and in person, because I really love to perform live and get that face-to-face connection with my community. But whenever I'm doing something digitally, this is just it's just fun, and I think people appreciate the mystery or the character of it. I was inspired by the band The Gorillaz when I kind of set out on this journey, and a lot of other artists too. And any artist that has like pseudonyms or alter egos or costumes, those things are fun to me. And so in the digital age, this is sort of how I represent myself. But then when I'm live and in person, obviously I don't look exactly like you see me today.
For NFT NYC, you'll be speaking about Web3 music and specifically cutting out the middleman. Can you first just start by making it personal? What's the impact of you removing the middleman as a rapper? And then maybe we'll expand and talk a bit about how this plays in general across the industry.
Yeah, this is a very personal topic for me because I was doing music full time as a rapper, songwriter, performer about a decade ago, and had some good success in terms of critical reviews, putting out music that was received well and got good reception on blogs and on SoundCloud and things like that. Touring, opening for major artists. And on the outside looking in, you would say, oh, this looks like it's going pretty well. But, good reviews and SoundCloud love doesn't really pay the bills, because the music industry, as we know it right now, is basically designed to sell ads on platforms like SoundCloud and Spotify, So there's a middleman right there. You have some music that you want to share with your fans. You want to make it as accessible as possible to them. You put it on YouTube, you put it on the streaming services, and that becomes a middleman right there, right? And they have their own business model, and that business model is not thinking of the creator first and foremost. Really, it's thinking of their ad revenue. And then, of course, you've got artist managers, you've got business managers, you've got booking agents, record labels, publishing companies. All of these different companies are lined up to take a piece of the pie. The artist bakes the pie, right? But the artist often gets the last and the smallest slice of the pie. Long story short, by 2013, I was really burnt out from the traditional music industry and walked away from it. I didn't write a song for several years. I got a day job, got good at that job, and just thought music as a career was behind me. NFTs, by discovering this world, it inspired me creatively. It inspired me to say, hey, I could take this image, this JPEG, and make a character out of it and do something new and fun. And then when I sold that album in August, I sort of unintentionally became a case study for the 1,000 fan theory. The 1,000 fan theory says that basically you don't need millions of fans. In the music industry, you only need, Spotify needs millions of users. They need millions of eyeballs, to collect that ad revenue. As an indie artist, I don't need millions of fans if I want to earn a living wage and even live comfortably, just doing what I love to do. I actually need hundreds of fans or 1,000 fans. I sold 2,000 NFTs for 0.03 Ethereum each. They sold out in 60 seconds. That's 60 ETH in 60 seconds. I had 700 collectors at that time that bought those 2,000 NFTs. Now I've got almost 900 collectors, but it just goes to show you that with a small and passionate and supportive community, an artist can really do what they love and do it on their own terms. And the way that an NFT allowed me to do that is it allowed me to sort of graduate beyond the MP3. An MP3 just allows a fan of music to listen to that music, okay? It's very hard to sell MP3s in the post-Napster era. But with my NFTs, I can say, guess what? I'm going to give you the MP3. I'm going to give you a copyright license so you can put the music in your film, your TV show, your video game, your podcast, whatever. I'm going to give you a vinyl record. I'm going to give you exclusive access to live events, digital experiences, physical merch stores, things like this that would be impossible to track and to manage if I was just selling MP3s. So that was a long-winded answer, but it basically I sort of stumbled into becoming a case study for this way that you could build a more personal relationship with your listeners, with your fans, your community, through smart contracts.
There's also the element where your fans, in a sense, are being compensated for their attention and their loyalty. So there was a time they could listen on Spotify, they could like a YouTube video, they could share something on Twitter, and that engagement's there, but there's no benefit now if they engage at the level of acquiring one or more NFTs and they track with you and you grow with them, and they kind of foster that ability for you to have greater impact and greater fans. They basically get compensated by holding the NFT and it going up in value. Can you give me some insight as an artist, as a rapper, as a creative, as a brand builder? What is it like to start to think through this dynamic where now they aren't just paying you for music and it's not just a trade for attention, but in a sense, you're kind of bringing them into the ability to benefit from a kind of a compensation perspective by being one of those true fans. What are your thoughts on that development in Web3?
Yeah, I think that's right on. I always say, if you're a music fan, you've had this conversation at a bar or at a concert where you say, you know what, I saw that band before they blew up, before they were famous, right? I was listening to them. And it's a matter of pride. A music fan loves to have that kind of a story to tell because it signals to your friends, like, I know what's cool. I know I have good taste in music, or at least, that you were early to something, right? Well, I always tell, I saw the Killers, at the rave in Milwaukee, probably, I don't even know what year it was, but it might have been 50 people in the room, in one of the side stages at the rave, right before, shortly before their big album Hot Fuss came out. And I can tell that story till I'm blue in the face, but what do I have to show for it? I don't have a ticket stub. I don't know what happened to the ticket stub. I wouldn't have even thought to keep that ticket stub, to be honest, even though it was an amazing performance. I didn't buy a t-shirt. I don't even know if they had a merch table. They probably did. I didn't buy a vinyl record. If I did, the shirt would be raggedy. If I even had the shirt, if I could even find it, the vinyl record, probably, who knows. But if that ticket had been an NFT, right? Or if that album had been an NFT, guess what? I would have it in my wallet to this day, and the value of it as a souvenir, because ticket stubs are souvenirs, if you keep them, and if it's a memorable occasion, or if the event goes on to have some historical significance, so that just as memorabilia in the music world, I think that's a really true thing. And then there's other utilities that can help an NFT appreciate as well. In my case, as I mentioned, I offer a copyright license. So the owner of an NFT, each NFT is a song from my album, or a remix of a song from my album. So if you have the NFT, you could put it in your film. You could put it in your advertisement. Maybe you're not a filmmaker. Maybe you're not an advertiser. You could sub-license it to a third party. So if I grow my audience, if my music grows in popularity and the demand for that music to be used in films or an advertisement grows, then you holding that NFT could potentially enable you to monetize my music alongside me. And so that's really powerful. Some artists are even, and some platforms are even offering royalty points or publishing points on music. I have not gone that far because I think there's some regulatory clarity that I need to see before I'm comfortable doing that as an independent artist. I completely own my masters. I retain ownership of my publishing. So if you own my NFT, you put the song in an advertisement, as soon as it hit the airwaves, I collect a performance royalty for that song being performed or broadcast on the airwaves. But the point is, there's a lot of different models, a lot of different ways that a creator and especially a musician now can really partner with their fans, partner with their supporters. And as a result, and this was inspired by the Bored Apes. In my case, I was inspired by how the Bored Apes gave intellectual property rights to all their collectors, and it made all the collectors franchisees or brand ambassadors in a sense. All of a sudden you had people making, I have a brewery, I'm making Bored Ape beers. I make skateboards, I'm making board skateboards. So that's what I wanted to achieve with my music, and I've seen it come to life. I have podcasters, I have video game developers putting my songs in their video games. I have filmmakers doing it. I have people that book events, that book concerts, that own my NFTs, and all of a sudden they're motivated. Hey, I want to get you on stage opening up for this big artist because they want to see me grow, and that's a really powerful dynamic.
I want to ask about something or some things that maybe you would desire. So maybe there's tech that has not yet been built that if you found it today, or if you find it at NFT.NYC, you're like, this is exactly what I need. This is going to save me so much time. This is going to make my life easier. Maybe it's community. Maybe it's other people that are musicians or specifically rappers that are building a DAO. And you're like, I need that. I need a peer-to-peer community. And this is the type of layout that I'm looking for. So is there anything that you're waiting for, desiring, and kind of keeping your eye out, and maybe people that watch our conversation know of a solution to something that you're looking for?
Yeah, I would say so. A couple specific things and then just one broad thing. I'm looking for as many platforms as possible to make it very easy for a creator to bring their own smart contract to the table, and make it very easy to mint. I think there's been a lot of progress with that made. Companies like Manifold, helping artists create their own smart contracts with very user-friendly solutions. They've got an integration with OpenSea, which was great to see. But I also want to see platforms that allow for more sophisticated mechanics or more innovative mechanics with drops. When I did my NFT drop, I was inspired by the process of shopping for a CryptoPunk. I remember seeing the spots, that's a rarity trait. The baseball cap, that's a rarity trait. The skin tone, there's rarity to all these traits in profile pictures. I wanted that with my music. When people minted my NFT, I wanted it to feel like, you're putting in a quarter in the gumball machine and you don't know which flavor you're going to get. You don't know which song you're minting. You don't know which remix you're minting. You might get one that's more common. You might get one that's more rare. That is not something that hardly any platforms, if any, support right now, where sort of a layperson who's not a developer can, but they're a creative. It's not very easy for you to say, hey, I've got 30 songs or I've got 10 songs. I want to do a blind mint or a mystery mint. So what I really think the space needs is we need to see a shift in the incentives for developers. We need developers to be making open source tools that are like one click, zero fee solutions for artists to do sort of innovative mechanics. Right now, I think most developers are more so incentivized to sort of crank out 10,000 profile picture collections, and the demand for developers is very high, and the supply can't keep up. So I was in a privileged position to be able to work with a team of really skilled developers and do everything custom. And I want that playing field to be leveled for creatives across the board.
As we wrap our conversation, I mean, I'm very intrigued by you and your story, so I could keep you on here forever. I want to be sensitive to time, and people like short conversations anyways. As we wrap the conversation, anything you're looking forward to at NFT.NYC specifically? Is it the people you're going to meet? Is you expecting fans that own your NFTs to be there and be able to connect with them? Like, what are you looking forward to as, the majority of the NFT industry gather together in Times Square next month?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely looking forward to performing. I've got a couple things I'm working on right now that are still to be confirmed. And then, yeah, seeing my supporters, seeing my friends. Last time at NFT.NYC, that was my first time really being doxxed and being out and open with, my name and my face out there. And one day I did a very last minute, I just had some time to burn one of the afternoons, and I was walking by a pub, and I went into my Discord, and just for my collectors, just the people that have my NFT, is a private channel. And I said, hey, I'm going to do a meetup here from 2 to 4 p.m. And it was only a couple hours notice. And I said, I'm going to go to my hotel right now. I'm going to grab a box full of hats and T-shirts and stickers. And we're just going to meet up. We're going to have some beers, get to know each other. And I'm going to raffle off some merch. And that was so much fun. It was really cool, not only for me to get to know a lot of these people, but for them to get to know each other, because obviously they have a lot of common interests. So I'm definitely going to be doing something like that again. And that's the best part of it for me, because we spend so much time interacting online that when you do, but we're never, I don't think that desire for face-to-face interaction or human contact and touch, I don't think that's going anywhere. And I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, I've enjoyed my conversation with you. I'm looking forward to having you perform at NFT.NYC and connecting with you and all the other incredible artists that are really creating what we're calling Web3. So thank you for jumping on here with me today. Look forward to seeing you in a month. For anybody that's watching our conversation, thank you for your attention, and we look forward to seeing you at NFT.NYC. Spottie Wi-Fi, sure appreciate your time, and thanks for teaching me things I didn't know. I loved hearing your perspective, very articulate in how you share things with us today.
My pleasure, man.